Have you ever imagined a man facing hungry lions and coming out unscathed? This incredible story is not just a legend, it's a miracle straight from the Bible. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this quiz with all your friends. Let's see how much you know about these powerful stories. Who tried to buy the power of the Holy Spirit with money? Simon the sorcerer. B. Judas Iscariot. C. Ananias. D. Paul. Correct answer, Simon the sorcerer. Verse. When Simon saw that the Spirit was given at the laying on of the apostles' hands, he offered them money and said, "Give me also this ability so that everyone on whom I lay my hands may receive the Holy Spirit." Acts 8 verses 18 to 19. Simon, the sorcerer, was a man from Samaria who initially believed in the gospel preached by the apostles. However, when he saw the power of the Holy Spirit being given through the apostles' hands, he tried to buy that power. Peter rebuked him sharply, showing that God's gift can't be bought. I was a powerful Canaanite commander but ended up being killed in a surprising way while resting in a tent. Samson. B. Absalom. C. Goliath. D. Sisera. Correct answer, D. Sisera. Verse. But Jael, Heber's wife, picked up a tent peg and with a hammer in her hand, she went quietly to him while he lay fast asleep, she drove the peg through his temple. Judges 4 verse 21. Sisera was the commander of King Jabin's army in Canaan. After being defeated by Deborah and Barak, he fled on foot and sought refuge in Jael's tent. Thinking he was safe, he fell asleep, but Jael killed him with a tent peg, an unexpected end for such a feared commander. Who was called by someone to curse the people of Israel? Pharaoh. B. Nebuchadnezzar. C. Balak. Sennacherib. Correct answer, C. Balak. Verse. So he sent messengers to Balaam, saying, "A people has come out of Egypt. Now come and put a curse on them for me." Numbers 22:5-6. Balak, the king of Moab, was scared by the arrival of Israel's people and wanted to use the prophet Balaam to curse them. Although he accepted the invitation, Balaam only spoke what God allowed. In the end, instead of cursing, he pronounced blessings over Israel. Who became king while searching for his father's donkeys? David. B. Solomon. C. Saul. D. Rehoboam. Correct answer, C. Saul. Verse. Then Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on Saul's head. As Saul turned to leave Samuel, God changed his heart. 1 Samuel 10 verses 1 and 9. Saul was searching for his father Kish's lost donkeys when he encountered the prophet Samuel. That meeting changed his life. God chose him to be the first king of Israel. What seemed like a simple task turned into a royal calling. Which man killed more people in his death than in his entire life? David. B. Moses. C. Samson. D. Elijah. Correct answer, C. Samson. Verse. Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." And he pushed with all his might, and the temple fell on the rulers and all the people in it. Thus, he killed more when he died than while he lived. Judges 16 verse 30. Samson, a judge of Israel, was used by God to confront the Philistines. Even though he was blind and imprisoned, in his final act of strength, he brought down the temple on his enemies, killing more Philistines in his death than he did during his life. Even blind and humiliated, I brought down a temple on thousands of enemies. My death made a greater impact than all my previous deeds. Who am I? A. Moses. B. Elijah. C. David. D. Samson. Correct answer, Samson. Verse. Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." And he leaned with all his might, and the temple fell on the leaders and all the people who were there. So, in his death, he killed more than in his whole life. Judges 16 verse 30. Samson was a judge of Israel known for his supernatural strength, given by God while he kept the Nazirite vow. After being captured by the Philistines and having his eyes gouged out, he called on God for strength one last time. By toppling the temple's columns, he destroyed the building and killed thousands of enemies, fulfilling his purpose even at the end of his life. What were the Israelites instructed to do to prevent their firstborns from being killed by the final plague in Egypt? To fast and pray for 7 days. B. Stay inside the house with the doors locked. C. Put lamb's blood on the doorposts. D. Build a stone altar. Correct answer, C. Put lamb's blood on the doorposts. Verse. Take some of the blood and put it on the 2 doorposts and the lintel of the houses where they eat it. Exodus 12 verse 7. In the 10th plague of Egypt, God commanded every Israelite family to sacrifice a lamb and put its blood on the doorposts. This blood would be a sign for the death angel to pass over the house, sparing the firstborn. This act marked the first Passover, a symbol of deliverance. The Israelites were allowed to eat meat, but what were they forbidden from consuming from the animal? A. The bones. B. The fat. C. The blood. D. The skin. Correct answer, C. The blood. Verse. For the life of a creature is in the blood, Leviticus 17 verse 11. God commanded the Israelites not to consume the blood of animals because the blood represents life. This prohibition was a reminder of the sanctity of life and also pointed to the significance of blood in the context of atonement and sacrifice. Moses was shepherding his father-in-law's flock when God spoke to him through what? A. A column of fire. B. An angel. C. A cloud. D. A burning bush. Correct answer, D. A burning bush. Verse. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. Exodus 3 verse 2. God called Moses to deliver Israel while he was tending his father-in-law Jethro's flock. The burning bush that didn't burn up caught his attention and marked the beginning of his prophetic mission. How many years were the Israelites enslaved in Egypt? A. 100 years. B. 215 years. C. 430 years. D. 70 years. Correct answer, C. 430 years. Verse. The time the Israelites lived in Egypt was 430 years. Exodus 12 verse 40. The Israelites lived as slaves in Egypt for approximately 430 years, as recorded in Exodus. This long period of suffering continued until God raised up Moses to lead the people's deliverance. Why did God allow the Israelites to wander in the desert for 40 years? A. To build the tabernacle. B. Because they were waiting for the rain to stop. C. Because of the people's grumbling and unbelief. D. To protect them from their enemies. Correct answer, C. Because of the people's grumbling and unbelief. Verse. For 40 years I was angry with that generation. I said, they are a people whose hearts go astray, and they have not known my ways. Psalm 95 verse 10. God made the Israelites wander in the desert for 40 years as a consequence of their constant grumbling, unbelief, and rebellion. Even after witnessing God's miracles and provisions, they refused to fully trust in Him. Therefore, the generation that left Egypt did not enter the Promised Land, except for Joshua and Caleb. In the Old Testament, I lost my family, wealth, and health, but I never stopped worshiping God, even in my suffering. Who am I? It's a job. B. Abraham. C. Moses. D. Elijah. Correct answer, A. Job. Verse. In his pain he said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away, may the name of the Lord be praised. Job 1 verse 21. Job is an example of unwavering faith. Even after losing his children, wealth, and health, he never stopped worshiping God. His story is a lesson in perseverance and trust in God's sovereignty, even when circumstances seem unbearable. God said He would make my descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, a promise made to me because of my faith and obedience. Who am I? A. Moses. B. Abraham. C. David. D. Isaac. Correct answer, B. Abraham. Verse. Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. So shall your offspring be. Genesis 15 verse 5. God made this great promise to Abraham, showing him that, despite his old age and lack of children, his descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky. Abraham is known as the father of faith, and his obedience to God made him the patriarch of a great nation. I was the sign that marked the location of baby Jesus for the 3 wise men. What am I? Star. B. Angel. C. Cloud. D. Prophecy. Correct answer, star. Verse. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. Matthew 2 verse 10. The 3 wise men, or magi, followed a bright star to the place where Jesus was born. This divine sign was given by God to guide them to the King of Kings, fulfilling an Old Testament prophecy. The star symbolizes the light Jesus brings to the world, guiding those who seek the truth to Him. I was the food that God provided for the Israelites in the desert, supernaturally. What am I? It's manna. B. Barley bread. C. Lamb. D. Wheat bread. Correct answer, A. Manna. Verse. The Israelites called the manna. It was like coriander seed and tasted like wafers made with honey. Exodus 16 verse 31. During the 40 years the Israelites wandered in the desert, God sent manna, a supernatural food, to sustain them. Each morning, the manna appeared on the ground, and the Israelites gathered enough for the day. This miracle symbolized God's provision and His faithfulness in taking care of His people, even during difficult times. Before we continue, if you like supporting the channel and still want to shop on Amazon, use our link in the description. No extra cost for you, and tons of support for us. Congrats on completing this challenge. The Bible teaches us that the search for knowledge should never stop, and your effort is a true victory. Don't forget to comment below with your score and what you learned today.